Hello again, Michael Ware with the Iowa Firearms Coalition. We're working with Zach Lane today, who's running for Iowa governor. This is a tremendous gubernatorial race. Thank you for coming on the program this morning. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
All right. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to add to the stage now. Let's see here. I don't want to do that wrong, Zach. We want you there with us. There, much better. See, this isn't an Iowa thing until I walk right out into it in front of everybody like this and step in manure. So now that I've got that one out of the way, we're ready to go. All right. So you and I spoke about this just a little bit as we were warming up here about the Second Amendment and it being a litmus test for just about anybody in leadership, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to go down through the four questions that we've offered each gubernatorial candidate, and we've had many legislative candidates that have asked for the same things. A little context, and I'll ask the question, and we'll hear your responses, and then you'll have some time, if you will, to stay around and let us know a little bit more about you. So the first question, here we go. Let's see here. History has shown that making a rule or posting a sign declaring a place a no-gun zone, such as a school, does nothing to protect the people gathered there. In fact, there is irrefutable evidence that some of the worst mass murderers specifically chose those sites to avoid armed resistance. Federal law and some states' laws allow a person with a valid permit to carry a firearm in school or on school property. So the question is, will you support changing Iowa code to support a permit to carry being sufficient for any school?
Absolutely. I think just very briefly, I'll just say that the description of the question is exactly right. When we put young, vulnerable children in these situations where they have no defense, we are setting things up for bad people to take advantage. And we need to have people there that are ready to protect our kids.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Second question. Here's the context. When an employer bans the possession of a firearm or ammunition in a private vehicle on employer property, employees must face a choice of risking dismissal by ignoring the rule or being disarmed from the time they leave home until they return, no matter how long their commute or how many other places they may need to visit. IFC believes that the proper place to draw the line between the rights of employers and the rights, including the expectation of privacy and the right to be armed in self-defense, is at the locked door of a private vehicle. The laws of 26 states agree. So the question is, will you support legislation to protect Iowans from the de facto firearm ban on private and public employer parking lots?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then. I like it when you guys are very short and sweet. I mean, we have a series of mic drop moments when it comes to the Second Amendment. I enjoy the heck out of that. Thank you. Third question. Here's the context. Since 1934, federal law has tightly regulated, but does not prohibit the private ownership of machine guns, suppressors, short barrel rifles, shotguns, destructive devices, yada, yada, yada. Iowa terms those as offensive weapons in 724.1. Since 2016 and 17, Iowa has allowed for the private ownership and use of suppressors, short barrel rifles, shotguns, etc. The repeal of the state's earlier prohibition has not resulted in any apparent problems. Iowa is one of only 14 states that ban the private possession of machine guns, even when in full compliance with federal law. Nationwide, crime committed with lawfully possessed machine guns has been almost non-existent. IFC believes Iowa's ban on offensive weapons is redundant and unnecessary. The question is this: will you support removing 724.1 and the related statutes from Iowa code?
Yeah, well, let me just give a little thought and background here, if that's okay. I think number one, law-abiding citizens aren't the problem. That's not the problem. As a matter of fact, when we create these laws, we're taking away their ability to defend themselves and defend other people. And we see many of the people that carry, that go through the process to get permits for even these types of weapons are the ones that are helping us. And so, when the Second Amendment was written, the musket was the most advanced piece of weaponry ever known to mankind. It was very clear that the founders knew that a well-armed populace was good, especially at keeping tyranny at bay. So yes, I would support that. And I would also just say that we have to start to look at this in the proper way. Law-abiding citizens are not the issue here.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So here's our fourth question. The Iowa Firearms here's the context rather, my bad. The Iowa Firearms Coalition advocates for the creation of a specially Gadsden flag license plate in Iowa, symbolizing Second Amendment rights and the opposition to government overreach. The plate is intended to be a voluntary funding mechanism for 2A educational programs through an additional fee. Despite passing the Iowa House with bipartisan support 2 years consecutively, the measure failed in the Senate, prompting IFC to urge Iowans to contact their legislators in support of the plate, which they see as a reflection of the will of the people, especially following the passage of the state's Freedom Amendment. The historical "Don't Tread on Me" motto of the Gadsden flag is highlighted as a powerful statement against government intrusion. The question is this: will you support the Gadsden plate legislation that directs voluntary funding for 2A education, safety, and training?
100%. It actually, when I read this question for the first time, Michael, I was like, how could this fail? I mean, number one, it's a free speech issue. Number two, this is something for us to be proud of in the history of our country. We're people who we stopped tyranny, and we should be proud of that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, let's turn this over to you. I would like to I've got your website up here, and for everybody, so there's no confusion, we're talking with Zach Lahn. He's running in a primary in the Iowa 2026 gubernatorial race. Now, don't make this mistake, because I did. Zach Lahn, it's zachlahn.com, is spelled Z-A-C-H, just like you'd expect. But Lahn is L-A-H-N. So we've got Z-A-C-H-L-A-H-N.com. I've got your site up and running. Zach, why don't you take a few minutes and tell us a little bit about you so people can understand what you're about?
Yeah, great. Well, I'm a sixth-generation Iowan. My family's actually been here since my great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War in the 2nd Cavalry in Iowa. And so I have spent my life, working the private sector. I'm not a politician. I've built schools. And, I rebuilt our family farm in 2014. And so I spent a lot of time in our rural communities, caring for our small towns and building our farm and our family. And, I guess when it comes to the Second Amendment, the thing I'd like to just say is that I think that it's another one of these issues where people try to say the right things to make Second Amendment supporters feel good, and oftentimes I'll hear people bring up hunting, and that's always a red flag for me whenever I hear somebody bring up hunting about the Second Amendment, because it had nothing to do with hunting. That's how you survived and ate and fed your family. And so when I look at this is 100% a measure that's put in place constitutionally to protect us from the tyranny of an overlording government. That's what it is. And so I think that there has to be a lot done to make sure we're protecting these rights, and that we can't shy away from it. I think that there's people here that definitely like to not just take away these rights, but take away these rights for the exact purpose of wanting to implement big government controlled policies on our lives. And so the Second Amendments are our defense from that. And it's something I will always support.
Fantastic. Thank you. Is there anything else that we need to know about you? We've got your site up here for people watching. They can see that. That's Z-A-C-H, Zach, Lahn, Lahn.com. They can go there to volunteer. They can donate. They can see where you're going to be and when. What other ways do people need to follow you, engage, and learn more about you?
Check us out on social media. And I think as you look at this race, you have to. I would like people to understand that we're here to restore the culture of Iowa. And that goes back to what you all are defending. And so when I say this, I say, I'm not here for politics. I'm here for culture. I'm here to restore the promise of Iowa. And we can see that there's a concerted effort to erode our culture in our state. And I'm here to fight against that. I want our kids to stay in Iowa. I want our family farms to thrive again. I want our education system to be #1 in the nation. And I want to stop this cancer crisis in our state. So I would ask for your support. Check out our website. And if you have any questions, if you want to go deeper on Second Amendment issues, I'd love to. Please reach out.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on and visiting with us today. We've been endeavoring to make these schedules collide for a little while, and it's a testament to your dedication that we made this happen. So thank you very much. This is Zach Lahn, everybody, ZACHLAHN.com. Check him out and pay close attention to what these people are saying. When their lips are moving, they're telling you what they're about. So make sure that you have vetted these folks well. Zach, thank you very much this morning.
Thank you.